Boom!
Yo,
Welcome back,
yo.
everybody. It is episode 4.
I swear we're doing these are the most irregular times now. Doing
Yeah,
it every weekend. Now we're just like, we'll do it sometime during the week and make it happen.
yeah. It's just been unfortunate just this week, especially with I had travel plans with business trips. Brady had a lot of raids going on. It was mainly just for me though, because
Hey, I
I've
had a
just
lot
been.
of interviews and stuff too. Come on.
You did. So apologies for the updates. Apologies for not updating you guys with that, and upload schedule's been off. But sorry, Justin, especially you.
Yeah. Right. Episode 3's out though. You can listen to that now.
Episode 3's out. We're on YouTube. We're on
Yep.
Spotify. But yeah, so it's episode 4. A lot has happened. So the usual. Let's get into our program. We first start off with what we've been watching this last week and a half.
Have you watched anything new since you finished Origairu?
I have actually.
Damn.
So,
All right, you go.
So what I watched. So I finished Origaru. I talked about that last episode. But I actually finished another show in the meantime.
No way, a whole show?
I finished a whole show. It was only 12
Was
episodes.
it like when you were on your trip?
No, it was before. I finished it in 2 days. Oh no,
Bro.
no. I finished in one day, like one full 24-hour period. It's just I started in the middle of one day
Yeah.
and then the morning of the other. I watched what was it called? My Love Story with Yamada, level
Oh,
900.
Yamada-kun. Yeah. You told me you were gonna watch that.
I did. So I started that and I finished it real quick, and I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
It was cute. It's again, I'm a romance guy, so it was a cute short romance story.
They dive into like the video game aspect at all? I heard it kind of like died out at the very beginning, and then they didn't really reference it much anymore.
Yes, I'd say they were definitely more into the video game aspect, but it's always it always recurs. It's a recurring theme. So a lot of the characters, again, I don't want to spoil too much, but I don't know if you're gonna watch it, but also
I might.
also for viewers as well, it does delve into the video game aspect a lot. However, it's just at the start, and they like to that's kind of one of the tying factors between the two lovebirds, so you can't so that's why it's always referenced a lot.
That's good though. I like that.
Yeah, and you'll see it's prevalent with all the other characters as well. They're all pretty much connected because of the game, and you'll get the reason why. But
Dude, the opening was a banger, right? I told you it was.
it was good. It was
Dude, I
really
love
good.
the opening. I love it.
So yeah, that was really good. I mean, I don't know. It's just a cute story. Had my, kicking my feet a little bit. And
Better than Snafu though?
no, because this one,
Different.
when look back at Snafu, and by the way, if you're gonna watch Snafu, and for everyone else as well, I recommend the dub. Actually,
Really?
I really like the dub voices.
Dude.
And
There goes all of our listeners, bro. They're gone. No one wants to listen anymore.
yeah, I know. I watched this. I watched the sub. I personally did, but then there were some times where the characters spoke way too fast, and the subtitles would go in how sometimes he's it just pops in, pops out, and they I have to pause it or something.
Yep.
The dub translation and the dub voice actors are very good, and you'll be able to understand the plots a little bit more, because I looked this up online as well. Season 2 was a little hard to understand just because of how fast they were actually speaking, as well as some of the meanings, because they're getting very philosophical. So no, it's not better than Origaru, because Origaru has a lot more depth, a lot more feeling and philosophy to it.
Yeah. I had the same thing with trouble with keeping up with subtitles on what was it? On shoot. What's the show that I just started watching? Eminence of Shadow. With Eminence of
Oh,
Shadow, especially the newer seasons, I felt like they were talking going through stuff pretty fast, especially during inner monologue and stuff. He kind of just runs through that. And but I listened to little scenes of the dub, and it's memed on so hard. The dub is almost sounds like a fan dub. It's not bad, but it's
It's good. It's
for
good,
a show that's
but
kind of meant to be a comedy making fun of isekais, I guess it could
yeah.
be okay to watch in dub anyway. But I mean, I watched the sub, but it was, although I was a lot sometimes to keep up.
Do you like the I am atomic?
Dude, I love
that.
it. I love
It's
it.
really
Dude.
good. It has, yeah, it's really good. I
I
liked it
still
a
haven't
lot.
finished season two.
If
I
you
still,
like Eminence in the Shadow, you'll like Konosuba a lot. Like
I think, yeah,
it's a similar kind of vibe.
yeah, I
So
think, yeah. There's sometimes I got frustrated with Eminence of Shadow though, just because like he doesn't recognize like any of these things, but like everyone else like thinks he's like I don't like he's obviously the most powerful in the show, but like the fact that he doesn't recognize that this Shadow Garden is like a real thing, and then like everyone's just like with him all the way 100%. Like part of me thinks it's hilarious, but the other part of me just like
it's
gets
so
frustrated.
funny.
'Cause
I
I'm like,
don't why.
I wish he figured it out, I guess, but like it wouldn't for this type of show it wouldn't make sense if he did.
Yeah. So
But
it's good. I personally enjoyed it a lot, and like with Konosuba, like there's a lot of things where you can get frustrated on,
yeah,
but you just have to like
we watched the
it's
first episode of that together
we
at my
did
house.
we did. I've tried watching Konosuba so many times
Hmm.
with just various people. We watched the first two episodes, first episode, whatnot, and I just never got into it. And finally, I was like, all right, it's enough. And then it turned out really good.
I
So
think you just have to get past that first hurdle and realize what you're getting yourself into, and I feel like it just gets better from there.
yeah, so I think, but yeah, this week that's all I watched. I finished that. I've been watching Invincible a lot. I know it's
Oh, you
not
on season
technically
two?
anime.
Or is it three
Um,
seasons now? Like I've
it's
only seen
three
the first
seasons.
season.
I'm on episode three. I'm weekly now actually. Every Thursday.
Dude, I saw like a
Um,
TikTok where it was like showing like season one animation versus like season three animation. It's just not the same anymore.
it's not the same. It really isn't. But the story is getting good. So like I really enjoy it. And then there's also other aspects of like certain relationships change. So that's just a little tidbit. Like,
Okay.
can't give too much. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about it.
I have
It's
to
been really
rewatch
good.
season one before I go dive into that again.
Yeah, for anyone who hasn't watched Invincible, if you have the time, watch the first episode. If you don't like the first episode,
Just
don't
drop it.
watch the show because
I said the same thing to my dad, and he didn't
yeah.
like the first episode. I'm like, are you crazy?
All right, yeah, it's like that. It literally encompasses what the show is kind of about. So if you don't like the first episode, don't watch it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
unlike you having exciting things you watched this week, I watched nothing again, except for Solo Leveling. I did watch it twice though.
Okay.
But I need to start the Bleach grind. It's gonna happen soon. I think
We're gonna keep mentioning
no,
this. This is gonna be
it's
a
going
meme.
to. It's going to. I'm gonna mention it again later today when we're talking about our main event. But I'm gonna start it because it's just a busy week for raids and stuff. But it's starting to die down now. I'm like, I have my characters in a spot where I'm kind of happy where they are, and I think I'll be able to do more outside of it. But it also depends how my interviews go for these companies because I mean the one today went pretty well, and the one I
Mm-hmm,
have
mm-hmm,
another one coming
mm-hmm.
scheduled up soon. And if I do
Yep.
get a job, that's gonna take up a lot of my extra free time. So we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, like again, I got a job. I still watch all these stuff. Like,
Yeah,
trust, like you have
I
enough
know.
time.
I know. It's just because like my raids are always in the evenings, but
Yeah.
it'll work out. All right then.
Let's
I
talk to
guess
our
that's
next
it.
topic.
You want to jump into news? I think
Yeah,
top
let's.
is
Yeah.
still in my
So
opinion on.
next topic is the news. What's going on this week? So some of the topics that we were looking at. Uh, let's see. Is there anything that's been like really? I mean, right now there's something about My Dress Up Darling. I know this doesn't apply to you,
I
but
watched
My
the first
Dress
two
Up
episodes with
Darling
you.
manga ends in March of 2025.
Oh, really?
The,
That's pretty
the
soon.
yeah, so the final chapter is being published next month. So
I didn't even know it was still going on though.
I didn't know either, but like apparently there was like this whole thing with like season two not being like announced, and it's like they're gonna cancel it, and then it got
Okay.
announced. I'm pretty sure. So like it's gonna come out because so whenever I go to Barnes and Nobles, like every time the manga is always like sealed up.
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, there has to be some stuff in there. I don't know what's gonna like happen in the anime,
You have to
and
buy it.
I'm like, I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see how that goes, but
Not in the
I'm really
kid-friendly section at the very least.
I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited for it. Like if no one knows, Marin Kitagawa is one of my favorite waifus of all time for sure. Not a question of a doubt.
I'll
But
eventually watch more to give it a good opinion. I feel like
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that's been ending recently. Like, didn't JJK just finished and My Hero just finished?
yeah,
Like, there's
yep.
a lot of big Shonen Jump things that are they need to cycle out. I'm assuming something new and big's gonna have to come soon. I know, weren't they making fun of that one manga for the longest time, and everyone's like, this is the best thing of all time. but it's like pretty mid. I totally forget. It was like Kagura Bushi or something. But they were like making fun of like how like everyone's like this is the greatest manga of all time, but it was just like a meme in the community, and apparently it's actually doing pretty good now. I don't know. I'd have to
Okay,
look it up,
I haven't
but
heard that one.
I might be saying it wrong. Ka yeah, I don't know. I
Uh,
don't think that's what it's called. I think
but
I just made that up on top of my head, but it's something.
some something else that came on,
Hmm.
revealed. All will be revealed February 24th, so everyone look forward to that. So Aniplex teases a new anime with mysterious Shibuya visual.
Really?
It depicts two girls in a motorcycle in
Two girls, one
Shibuya.
bike.
Two girls, one bike. So
Okay.
yeah, so Aniplex might be coming out with a new anime in the works.
Is
So
it
that's
an
gonna be
anime
cool.
original, or is anyone speculating what manga it could be?
So today, a company shared photo of two young women in Shibuya, hinting the theme of a new project to come. A YouTube
Okay.
premiere scheduled for February 24th is simply titled Two Girls, a Bike, and a Journey.
I mean, it sounds like it could be an anime original. Pretty
Yeah,
interesting, though.
so it's probably an anime original. I'm wondering if it's gonna be like a movie.
Interesting, or maybe like a sort, like only a couple episodes. I don't know.
Oh, another big thing. I know you don't watch Dragon Ball Daima. Like I know this was a huge news
Mhm.
though. Like
Oh yeah.
they find like I don't know. Spoiler warning for Dragon Ball Daima,
Yeah,
100%.
you
So if
caught
you
up
want
on
to
it,
skip ahead,
or
I'm not caught up yet. I know it's about to end though, but
wait, oh,
Super
faster.
Saiyan 4 is now canon.
What?
Yeah,
Okay,
they made it canon, like, and Daimo's the one to do it. So
interesting. I don't know how I feel about that.
and it looks badass. Like it looks good, but they're also
Yeah,
kid versions though. So it's like,
yeah, that's the one downside to Daima. But like, I love Super Saiyan 4 transformation. I loved it in GT. I stopped like halfway through GT, but I got to the point where they had Super Saiyan 4.
yeah.
I think it's cool, but like, why would they ever use Super Saiyan 4 over like Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't.
Because Super Saiyan because Daima is before Super and after like
Oh,
Majin. Yeah, it's not
okay.
it's before Super. That's why there's no
That's
God and
cool then.
whatnot.
Okay. And this was
Yeah,
written by Akira Toriyama, I think,
I believe so. I mean, I believe so.
for the
Don't quote
most
me on
part.
that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah.
I think it is. Oh, of course, he unfortunately, rest in peace, died.
Yeah.
Um,
He's one of the best.
Let me look. I think I had something else as well. Um,
Yeah, looks like he did come up with Daima.
yeah, right. I thought so.
But did he not come up with GT then? So I guess since he did, that's why Daima is canon, and that's why Super Saiyan 4 is canon, but
Yeah,
GT isn't.
dude. Honestly, I like
Yeah.
you. I dropped GT, so like I don't want to.
Hey, it
I don't
wasn't
want.
that bad. It has
It
ups
was
and
no,
downs.
it was bad. No, it was
I
bad.
stopped around like I don't remember what arcs. I'll have to look back at it later. I think I
I'm
wrote down on my anime
trying to
list maybe.
see. Do I have anything like um? Okay, no, it's not here. But
Yeah.
yeah. So that's something huge. I like it. I think it's cool. I've always loved the Super Saiyan 4. I think it just looks cool. I thought that's kind of like what they were going for with like it because it does encompass like that Saiyan, like just Saiyanness because they're
Yeah.
not to quote Frieza, but they're monkeys, you know? Like
Yeah, it's the last one that had that type of look to it. I mean,
yeah. So
yeah,
now
I know
it's
what
just
you
like
mean.
because that one was more creative. Like
Mhm.
that's why like Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 4 are by far my favorite transformations because they were actually different. Like yes, like all the other ones just change the hair color and change the eye color, but
Yeah,
those ones actually like the hair gets longer. He actually looks like a grade 8 but in human
exactly.
form. Like
Yeah, that's why when I mentioned the other time when they had Super Saiyan 3 transformation for Vegeta, I mean it's kind of cool, but like I also would
yeah.
like to see that in his adult form. And
Yes.
same thing with the Super Saiyan 4 transformations, but I feel like for all Dragon Ball fans, it's still enjoyable nevertheless.
Actually, speaking of last chapters by the way,
Mhm.
Bofuri, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. Web
No,
novel
bro.
publishes final chapter. I've
Dude.
watched that, by the way. I've watched
Really?
the first two seasons. I did.
Okay, okay. Is it
I
good?
was bored, so
Oh,
I watched it.
rip to you Bofuri fans out there, but
Yeah, sorry, Bofuri fans.
hey, um, hey, maybe it gets better. Pick it up in the manga, but yeah, okay. Well, um, Is that really all you have for news, or is there anything else?
I mean, there's not much more. There's the Pokemon Day presentation, like there's that Pokemon movie that's going to be coming out, the
Oh,
Dragonite.
really?
Yeah, there's a new Pokemon
Oh, okay.
Dragonite movie that's coming
I'm
out.
into that. I like Pokemon.
Yeah, no, it's really
Okay.
cool. So if you guys do want to check that out, there's I think a little trailer that's popped up.
You think it's coming to theaters in the US? I mean, I'm assuming.
I don't know, but it's February 27th is Pokemon Day, so I think for Pokemon Day it's going to be coming
That's
out.
really soon. Okay.
It's a Dragonite Postman anime, and it's the trailer's out. So if anyone wants to
Might
check
be
it out,
Japan only, if I had to guess.
but the animation is solid. Like it
Okay.
looks amazing. By far one of the best I've ever seen Pokemon do it. So
They've been stepping up their game for sure.
I
Have you
think
seen much on Sakamoto Days recently?
no, I haven't.
So I know that before it came out, a lot of people were kind of interested because they wanted to see that they thought like, oh, it's gonna be bad. Like the studio that has it is just gonna fumble it. Like the animation's not gonna be good. It's gonna be they're gonna ruin the whole story because everyone loves this manga. It's like a really
Hmm.
well-known manga. But I checked out a couple of the like episodes, just like clicking through and looking at it, and it actually has good animation. I think I actually like think it looks really good, and people
Okay.
are rating it pretty highly. They're saying the show is pretty good. It doesn't have like nearly as much traction as things like Dandadan had,
Yeah.
um, but like if you're rating it in terms of animation, it's not gonna rate on the level of like Solo Leveling or like Demon Slayer or like things like that. It's like
Yeah.
a pretty average, run of the mill, like pretty decent anime, like animation. But
Hmm.
I think, and people were kind of still disappointed with it, which means like they're not going to get JJK and Demon Slayer animation and all these new shows. But I
No.
think that it kind of just shows that people are expecting higher levels of animation nowadays. And since they've seen things like Demon Slayer and JJK, they want that everywhere. Because the fact that they're saying that they're disappointed with the level of Sakamoto Days animation kind of just shows that like people are just being more picky now that they like open their eyes to how good it can be.
I mean,
Which is
Free Ren, for example, too. Like
exactly.
Free Ren is beautifully animated. Like it's almost like I think I can put the parallel to like video games now, right? So like video games, a lot of people are like, oh, like a video game plays well, but everyone because now Unreal Engine 5,
Hmm.
every game can look great graphically, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not as hard as it used to be to make a game graphically like crazy.
Yeah.
So now like if people can play a game, they're like, oh, the graphics aren't really that good, blah 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 blah. Like like they can cry about it, but though I say this, I say it, but I still think the animation is way more important to anime than
I agree.
graphics and everything to video games because you
I
can
agree.
look at Overwatch. Like, is it the most graphically perfect
Dude,
game?
Overwatch is
No.
bad.
Fortnite,
Yeah.
it's a bunch of cartoons. It's not like that crazy. Like it's like, and then
Yeah.
also like Minecraft. God, Minecraft doesn't look that
Exactly.
graphically good unless you put mods. Don't come
Shaders and
after
all
me, like
that. Yeah,
shaders
yeah.
and all that. But like, it's not the best,
Hmm.
looking game. So it's like it's more that one's more gameplay mechanic is more important. How fun you can have. Anime, I think is way more important. But I could see the parallels.
If anything, I'm just excited because I'm hoping that animation studios, especially the bigger ones, will see how people are reacting to their shows they like not getting this god tier animation and hope it makes them step up their game for future animation. Like when we get like an Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint anime, if they can nail the animation in that, like Solo Levelings or better, I mean
Yeah,
that's gonna be great. Or like if they continue making shows better and better animation, it's just gonna completely change the game for anime as a whole.
I agree. I mean, we as the consumers, we want competition, right? So
Yeah, but I thought that was exciting. I'll have to check out Sakamoto Days though and see how the story goes. I know a lot of people love it.
yeah, you're gonna have to tell me about it because
Yeah. It's actually a pretty cool premise because like it's you don't see many shows where the main character is like an older person. Like the main character, this dude's like in his 40s or 50s or something. He's like an older
yeah,
guy. And it flashes back to when he was like younger because he was like a spy or an assassin or something. I don't know exactly. But like
yeah.
even then he was like boy type age. He was like in his 20s. So like I'm so used to all these like young main characters that it's kind of nice and fresh to see someone older. It's the same thing with Kaiju number 8 because isn't the main character for that like in his 30s or something?
Yes, he
I
is.
don't,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool to see. I don't know if
Do
you
you
watched
have
that.
you? I've watched it. Like you
Hmm.
haven't watched that, bro? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
I need to like retire of the podcast or something, but no,
Oh my
I'm
god.
telling you, my grind starts soon. I keep saying it, but you'll see.
All
I'm gonna
right,
be like
good.
30 minutes at the beginning of the episode saying everything I watched.
Good, good, good.
Yep.
And then like lastly, we could probably mention this is pretty big.
Mm.
Is like the Nigita International Animation Film Festival
Oh,
2025 unveils Studio Bones event screening.
isn't Bones who did like My Hero
There,
and
Bones is yeah, they
Full
did
Metal?
Full Metal.
Yep.
Yep.
Was it just Brotherhood? I think it was just.
I don't. I'm trying to look right
I
now
think they did Brotherhood.
specifically, but yeah, there
Yeah.
will be talks after the screening of Millennium Actress on March 15th. Will be held all night. It will include a screening of Final Fantasy. Okay, the
Oh,
final announcement of
I like Final Fantasy.
yeah. Dreaming Forward will be accompanied by a screening of Full Metal Alchemist, The
Yeah, they did
Sacred
Brotherhood.
Star of Milos.
Oh, what's that?
The
Movie
second
maybe?
film based on the manga and the following of Full Alchemist Brotherhood anime, Bones president Masahiko Minami will be joined by the JC staff head of production Yuji Matsukura
Okay.
and IG Port president and the founder of production IG Mitsuhisa Ishikawa
Hmm.
for the half century of anime studios and films panel on March 16th.
Interesting. I didn't even
So
know there was a
Crunchyroll is currently streaming the Bones
movie.
25 Dreaming Forward part 4-part documentary and describes it as such. So
Dude, Bones is a fire studio. They got My Hero. They have both Full Metal Alchemist and Brotherhood.
yeah.
Noragami, Soul Eater, Mob Psycho. Like they're pretty stacked.
Did you mention that looks like I'm trying to look at the Bones
I think
did they
maybe
do Cowboy
Mango.
Bebop?
I don't think so.
I'm seeing like I don't know, so I'm just looking at like the page right now and I see Cowboy Bebop as one
I
of
mean,
the things.
if it's on there, then I trust my anime list.
No, it's on Crunchyroll. So I don't know.
No, Studio Sunrise did Cowboy Bebop.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
They might have done the movie or something. Yeah, so they did the Cowboy Bebop movie, but not the show
Okay.
itself.
Got it.
That's what it is.
Got it. Got it. Got
Yep.
it.
But yeah, still
But
pretty
that's
cool.
just a little news. I think we're pretty excited to talk about the next topic.
Yes, I
Solo
am.
leveling.
Woohoo! Dude, it's new episode tomorrow. I cannot
Yeah.
wait. I cannot
I'm
wait.
dude, I sleep, wake up, and it's like the solo leveling Saturdays. It's just
Dude, I know you. I know. I love it. I love it. So, what? This was episode 6 we just watched? 7. Episode 7.
hmm
Um, I thought it was a good episode. I liked it a lot.
hmm
But this was one of the episodes that I think we cut the most content out of. Um,
Really. It's even such a slow episode.
I know. Because if you look at like the last episode, like it was almost one for one, like almost nothing cut out. But this one had a lot of cut out content. And I think it's good they did. Because the cutout content would have just made the slow episode even slower. And next episode we're gonna get into action, of course.
Do you think the next episode, because everyone has been hyping up this next episode
Hmm.
like crazy, do you think it's gonna have the whole fight like with like the tower,
The
or
top
do
of the
you
tower.
because or do you think it's gonna cut halfway and then we're gonna continue it next week?
Well, I'm thinking about it like this. There's 13 episodes this season.
Yep.
But 12 and 13 are kind of gonna be a special. I think that's both gonna be Jeju slash like the final fight. It's
Yeah.
12, 13, meaning
Isn't the
11.
last episode? Isn't the last episode an hour long? Someone said like
No, it's like it's an hour between the two together, but that probably means with opening and it's probably gonna be like 2 normal episodes, I'd say.
okay,
Maybe.
okay, okay.
So that only leaves episode 8, 9, and 10. And 11. It's 4 episodes before we get to Jeju. But like there's kind of like one episode I think will be in Jeju before the big climax.
Yeah.
One episode with when we meet some Japanese people. It's either gonna be next episode we'll finish the whole tower and it'll be the big fight, or I don't think there's enough content in next between now and the top of the tower for there to be 2 episodes before it ends.
Okay, so
So
you're saying we're gonna
I think
get
next episode will be,
yes.
and it's gonna be a crazy. I think it's gonna be better than last episode, like 2 episodes ago
People a
fight.
lot of the last episode, not the last, well the one before that
Mhm.
crashed Crunchyroll. Like
This one will too.
this one I think will as well. So I'm very excited. I thought I don't know, a lot of the episode was awesome. Like the fact that like I mean Bach, right? I believe it is Bach.
Mhm. the White Tiger Guild
the
guy.
White Tiger president, he's suspecting
Yep.
already that
Hmm.
he's somehow is getting stronger because the way that he was able to like, just like, oh, he's an S rank. He's like, let me help you with his hand on shoulder. He's like, no,
Yep.
I'm good, and just gone.
Yep.
Could not even
Yep.
see him.
I love that he's suspecting him because like before Jinwoo, this has never been known that this is even possible. And the
Yeah,
fact that he's recognizing and already kind of knows that like he is able to do this, I feel like he doesn't even believe it's true, even though it's the only logical explanation he thinks, which is just
yeah.
crazy. Because if he
And,
tells people, then what? How are people gonna react when they find out this news? I mean,
I mean, and also with Jinwoo, I was surprised that he didn't take Jinho offer. Like I
hmm
know like he's like I gotta get stronger. That's gonna hinder me. So like I gotta do this. But
hmm
I'm thinking like once he's done with that though, like he has to. And oh my god,
hmm
Jinho's dad having the
yeah,
same sleep paralysis like with the
hmm
amount of, and I just thought that was huge, right? And
yes.
I'm like, and like will Jinwoo like when he sees that and he like like he's probably Jinho's gonna be like Aniki, I'm upset. Well, like
But think about it like this too. He like his dad thought like Jinho's dad thought that the reason that he got the illness was because Jinho is a hunter, right?
yeah,
But
yep,
people get this hunter when first off their bodies just aren't very resistant to mana in general, but
yeah,
also when they're around high amounts of it. And
yeah,
Jinho is a D rank.
yeah.
So do
So
you think that it's because of Jinwoo that his mana is rubbing off on Jinho that he's the reason that he got it?
it could be,
I don't know. I
I don't
really
know.
I don't remember if they mentioned it in the manhwa. I don't remember, but
And
that's
then then that means that his mom, because I apply that to mom, I'm like, how does mom get so much, like, unless she's so weak, and that, like,
probably because of
because we
his
know
dad though.
dad, yeah, but we know
Hmm.
that the dad was, but if he was an S rank, because he
He
took out an
definitely was
S
not.
rank,
He was
so
definitely
he
not an
definitely
S rank.
not, right? So, like,
Yeah.
he must have, like, I
He
want to
must
know
have
his
been at least
original
like
rank.
a higher ranking to survive that long though. Like he must have had a decent rank. I don't know.
Something. I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns that I'm
Hmm.
really curious about. So
Yeah.
I think that was a big plot point was his dad like, succumbing to the the whole illness. Um, yeah, I don't even know if the demon tower is going to be like that elixir of life. Like, is it something like even if you heal her, will she go back to the disease or something? Or I
Uh,
don't know. Like, don't answer. I like even your little stuff will give it away.
you'll
But
see.
yeah,
You'll see.
I don't know.
That's all I can say.
There's a
Uh,
lot of things that I'm curious about.
but yeah, just going back to you saying this, you thought this was a slow episode. It was actually around the same amount of chapters as the previous one, around chapter 76 to 81. So a decent bit of
Yeah.
chapters in there. Um, we finally got to meet the guild leader of the Reaper Guild. That's another S rank hunter we got to meet. I
He
think
was kind of like,
it's kind of
yeah,
yeah, but it's kind of funny how like he's like, oh yeah, these two guys are fighting over this actor that I get on my guild, and I'm like, bro, we do not give a crap about this dude. I don't even remember his name,
not,
but
yeah, I don't remember
yeah,
his name either.
it's kind of funny to see the little fight there. But
And then Chairman Go coming out too and be
oh
like,
my
yo,
dude,
like, what are
Daddy
you
Realm.
guys, what are you guys doing here? Like, I told you not to have like this press over here.
Hmm.
That was
I,
kind of cool.
I think we can hands down say that right now Jinwoo is the strongest S rank in Korea without a doubt. Like
I
no competition.
like he's pretty like, oh, and then when he was getting his like, dude, he's aura farming so
Yeah.
hard. He's
Yep.
like, and he's like, oh yeah, like I can summon this. And he's like, oh, fine, like I'll summon everything. Like, and he's like, yeah,
Actually,
these are,
in the web novel, not even the manhwa, but the novel, when the very first thing of the soul leveling, he
yeah,
only summoned his lowest level like peon soldier, and he summoned like five, like two, like one or two of them, and then said I can summon like 100 more, and they were still amazed by that and still gave him the highest rank. And then in the manhwa they added in that he summoned Igris and Tusk and all that, and then he just like
mhm,
they knew even more that like how amazing he was, because he was still
yeah,
trying to hide his power a little bit in the novel. But I kind of
yeah.
like how he showed off a little bit because they already kind of knew about it from the last dungeon.
A mage with physical abilities of a
I
physical,
know,
like it's
I
just
know,
broken. It's just broken.
I know. And
But
like also like the scenes when we saw like people like Juhi and like the dude from the double dungeon like going back and seeing his rank, I like that a lot because I don't remember if that was in the manhwa or not. it might have been,
Anime
but I feel like
only. I mean, it was good. It was a good
yeah,
addition.
I like that.
A lot of
Um,
people are like, a lot of people I saw on TikTok was like, when she saw that, she was like, my man, like, like she was there from day one. She liked him before
yep,
he became anything.
yep.
But then I
I still like
still
Cha
love
better.
Cha.
I
I
still
love
like
Cha
Cha
better.
better. Okay, so a little bit into the cut content of this episode because there's a lot of it. This is probably the
Okay.
episode that I think had the most small details cut out in certain
Hmm.
places jumping around. So, like a couple things, how like at the very start, with like the when there was the all the photographers and stuff talking to that actor dude, they cut out like some detail about like the reporters and basically like just like more questions they asked, stuff like that. Like basically, he had a little bit more malicious intent because like the actor had like a bunch of scandals and stuff of like bad things that
Probably
he
like
was
hitting a girl, hitting a
exactly
woman.
things
Like,
like that,
yeah.
like worse. And like he was hoping that he would be able to ride out this contract with the Reaper Guild to like bless you to
Thank
like get
you.
rid of all of his like accusations because he's also the main reason becoming a hunter is because he's trying to avoid his mandatory military service. And
Okay.
by being a hunter, it counts as your military service because you're kind of serving on the front lines. So he's hoping that since he already knows he's an A rank, he's like being, oh yeah, no matter what rank I get, then I will like serve you guys. But like he knows he's an A rank. He's basically probably gonna. I don't even know what he's gonna do in the guild, but like he's gonna be safe, and then all the scandals will go away because he'll be like serving the country. So they kind of went a little bit more into that. Um, Also, there's like Jinho's dad had a much longer conversation with Jinho about like the reason he was making the guild was like for protection and he wanted his family to be safe because like the
Yeah.
military like there's hunters nowadays that are stronger than an entire nation's military. And this was
Jinwoo
and this
probably
is a
like,
little bit of a
like
spoiler, but
no,
this is the first time that a new type of hunter was mentioned. Can I tell you what it is or do you not want me to?
no. I don't want to. I don't want to know.
Well, I'm assuming we'll learn about them later, but there's something that was mentioned there that we did not learn about yet. Hopefully, we'll learn about it later. I think we should have already learned about it by now. But there's also one huge change that everyone's talking about that the anime changed that people like better than they did in the manhwa.
Okay.
So,
Give it to me.
in the manhwa, Jinho's dad decided, hey, I think he did this in the anime too, but like, hey, I'm gonna leave the guild to you, right? And then but Jinho denied taking the guild
Hmm.
from his dad. But
Okay.
which his dad's like, why would you do that? Because he wanted to join Jinwoo, and Jinwoo didn't. As he said, he didn't want to join Jinho's dad's guild, right?
Yeah.
So Jinho did not take over the guild, even though his dad said he passed and wanted to leave it to him. So then, in turn, you know how like Jinwoo said like, oh, I left home and then came to like stay with Jinwoo and like stayed the night.
Yeah.
Well, in the manhwa, his dad kicked him out and cut him off everything. Like he cut him off, like kicked him out. And he was on the streets. So he came home. He went to Jinwoo's place crying and begging him, like, "Can you please let me stay here? I have nowhere to go." And then Jinwoo slams the door on him, and Jinwoo's like, "Who is that?" It's like, "Oh, a random reporter," or like that was like I have no idea who that was. And that's what happened in the manhwa, which people like how they did it in the anime better because he was just saying in the other episode like, "Hey, we're brothers,"
Yeah.
and like
So that doesn't
would
make
treat him
any
like that.
sense.
So I'm glad they made the change that like, hey, he was like more welcoming. He let him in. He like actually treated
Yeah.
him like another person. Like I don't know. I just thought that was better.
I agree.
But
That's not because I we all know that aura farming Jinwoo's like cold and like calculated and whatnot, but he's also like surprisingly charming, charismatic, and like
yep,
really loving to his people who he actually cares about. So like
I was a
that's
fan of
very
this.
uncharacteristic of him to like just slam the door.
Now there was one big thing that didn't happen in the anime that I'm not going to talk about yet,
Mm,
but it was more about the reason why Jinho left to join Jinwoo. But I I'm a little upset they didn't mention it earlier in the conversation with Jinwoo and Jinho, but I'm assuming they're gonna push it off till later, so I'm not gonna spoil that with you right now. But the people that read the manhwa, you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully that will come back into play soon. Um, I'm assuming they might squeeze that information in after next episode because there's going to be the finishing of the dungeon, and then there's going to be another episode filler in before Jeju, and I think that's when that's going to happen. So I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to try to spoil anything, but we'll see more information about Jinwoo's plans with Jinho, etc.
Okay.
Um, we also missed a scene of Dong Su. He saw that Jinwoo is alive and he's pissed, so he plans to come back and try to kill him again,
I
which
feel
is
like yeah, that's also not going to go well. But then like
yeah,
I think they'll probably add like something small in the next episode about that probably.
yeah. But
Um,
I'm not going to mention this because I don't want to spoil that.
but
Um,
anything else? Because
I
we
mean there was
are
yeah
running on like
we gotta
30.
go
We
yeah.
could yeah.
We do have, they did have like a longer section of like the auction house. He tried to sell the Orb of Avarice at first, and then he realized, oh, I don't
I'm
have
so
to.
glad he
And like
didn't.
they tried to sell him like some flashy armor for fire resistance, and then he's like, anything less, and they like the cloak and stuff. But I think that was all stuff that could have easily been cut out.
But you
Um,
know, if I remember correctly, like okay,
oh,
okay, I remember Dante's Inferno.
okay,
Do you remember Dante's Inferno with like
yeah,
several
the
different
different
levels of
layers, yeah.
hell?
Mhm.
Um, that's my problem with this was like I was like, oh, Jinwoo is gonna get like this thing for like hot areas, right? And this
Yeah,
looks like it's like a tower from hell. But then
yeah,
my part of me was like, well, what if it turns cold? Like, what if it's the
yeah,
opposite? Like,
okay,
because like
yeah.
one of the layers of Dante's Inferno is like complete like Iceland essentially. But actually, I don't remember how many layers. But well, yeah,
There was like 10 or something, but yeah, I know what you
you
mean.
get what I meant.
Mhm.
So I'm like, so you're gonna get for fire resistance, but then it's gonna be like cold it's gonna be the complete opposite, and like what
Yeah,
happens then?
I
So
mean, I think we
I
can
don't.
assume that like the city's on fire in this dungeon, that it's gonna be fire resistance. But I see what you mean. Like that would be kind of a weird twist.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my god, like. So something I thought about. I'm like, what if the conditions change? So
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't just try to put it. I mean, it's good he has fire. It probably has other buffs as well that we don't know, but I know he's grabbing it for fire resistance. But yeah, it looks good on him.
Yeah. But we should definitely move on soon. Well, the one last thing I want to say is that how we saw like the ant with the wings appear at the end of the
Oh
episode,
my god.
just
Oh
building to
my
Jeju.
god.
That is
Oh my
crazy.
god.
But they also had a lot more of that kind of in the manhwa where like these two hunters like found it and then like got killed or something.
Oh, they're getting destroyed. Like I
Or like
like the. Oh my god.
it's just exciting that they're showing us Jeju stuff so early that we can actually like I know they showed it in the manhwa at this point too, but like they're really building up this arc that it's gonna be a good finale, and I hope it goes as well as I wanted to. But
I'm super excited. That thing looks scary. Like it looks like I'm hoping like it's gonna be the better Chimera Ant arc than Hunter x Hunter.
whoa!
Yep.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. But no, I'm excited for next episode. I'm excited for Jeju. I'm excited to see what you think about the person that we met at the very end of the last episode, who was like Jinwoo thought that person with the armor felt fear.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
really
that was.
interested what you think about something with them next episode.
I think it's gonna be interesting because like they're obviously strong and they're obviously smart because they were
Hmm.
actually taking out certain certain one of his minions to,
Like
like
the weakest
the
ones,
weakest
yeah.
ones because he
Hmm.
knows like, oh, like I'm not gonna be able to take on Icarus. I'm not gonna be able to take on. So
Yeah,
I'm very curious about that like monster. I don't know exactly what to say yet. So
yeah.
like
We'll talk about it next episode of the podcast. But
I'm waiting. It'd be funny. It's like right now I just had a thought pop up saying like
mhm.
if he got a monster that's like super smart and it's
The
like the
tactician,
monster, the tactician, like a
yeah,
monster tactician
like a
for the.
Shikamaru type deal.
Exactly, like that would be so cool. He'd be like, all right, like I don't have to lead. Like you make sure the strategies are good. I'll tell you
Yeah,
guys what to do.
dude.
Um,
I think
that'd
that
be
kind
kind
of
of
just fits
cool.
with his role though. Like that's I don't know. I see what you mean though.
That'd be kind of like a Shikamaru. I mean, there's still a Hokage and there's Shikamaru, right? Like they're
Yeah,
generals.
yeah.
So
But yeah, that's really it for that episode. I'm a little bit disappointed how they're not really showing like his his shadows are leveling up alongside of him. But that's just
yeah,
like a
I see
small
what you
detail
mean.
that's easy to cut out because it'd take too much time to get into that. But yeah, overall, we love solo leveling. It's doing great. Hopefully, everyone loves next episode. I know I'm excited for it.
11:30 my time tomorrow.
All right,
I'm
can't
really
wait.
excited. Oh,
Maybe.
so I should apologize to everyone if I do sound a little weird. I am a little sick, so
Oh, it's
I
because of your trip.
apologize. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting over a little something too, but I'm chilling now. All right. Well, I guess after we wasted enough time, you want to get into our main event?
Yeah, so like a main topic we're talking about today is drum roll please, Brady.
Power systems in anime. Specifically, what we think is the best, and kind of like talking a little bit about them in general, the main ones.
Yeah.
I have like a list of about 10 to 15 that we'll talk over. Um, but yeah, most of this will probably be shonen anime because that's what we really watch. I mean, that's what I watch at least. But yeah, it might not be as long as most main topic days, but I hope that you agree with our takes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
But
I remember talking about this before a little bit, but we'll
yeah,
see.
well, I'm gonna start off with what I think is the best power system in anime.
I know what you're gonna answer. I know your answer.
Say it for me. Say it for me.
Hunter x Hunter. It's the Nen system.
It is Nen's the best. It really is the best. I think it's the most intricate. I think it's the most developed. I think it's the most unique. The fact that like different like there's like all these different types, the way to find out your type of Nen through water divination. I think that like how different types of Nen are based on personality, but then also you're limited to what you can do with it. And then there's like special things like Killua who has like electric type because of like being tortured as a kid. And then also just like different Nen matchups with people. How like Gon has like higher like he of course he's like a enhancer or I think, but then like he
Goes
has
an enhancer. Yeah.
enhancer which is his strongest one. But then like he has like the ones on the side of enhancer he has like a decent like 80% with, and then it goes like 60%. Then like he has the lowest amount with the opposite side of the
Yep.
circle. But just the fact that he can like incorporate three different like a long range attack like with his rock paper scissors, Ken. I everything about Hunter x Hunter power system I feel like is just so thought out. I mean, I'm a Hunter x Hunter fiend. I am gonna hype it up way too much always. I'd love to
Okay.
hear what you think, but I think that no power system beats Hunter x Hunter on just how much thought was put into it.
I do like the Hunter x Hunter like power system. I think it is really special. It's almost too unique. You know what I mean? Like every single person, like you could be an enhancer, but like you can use your enhancing type much differently.
Hmm.
We saw like what was his name Uvogene, right?
Hmm.
And we saw, I mean, and Gon, like they're
Yep.
two enhancers, but they completely use it two separate ways. So I, if I was in the world of Hunter x Hunter and I had to pick like how I want to use my power, like I wouldn't know because there's so many different ways. Like, I mean, it's all dependent on you, and like you said, I think it's a reflection of your personality. So like,
Hmm.
and it's like Hisoka's like a lot of people like the clown on Hisoka's like the was it
Bungee
bungee
gum.
gum,
The properties of rubber and gum.
and he like they say like his like abilities are ass, but like for some,
It's so OP.
but he's so good actually. Like
Hmm.
it's actually really good.
Hmm.
Um, so and then, I mean like if you can look at others too, like I mean, even with the Chimera ants, whenever they
Yeah.
started learning their abilities as well, like it's just to show like it's what was it like I can't remember their names right now.
Mr.
There's
Pito, Shia Poof,
Pito
and
Poof, yeah, Poof was like
Yuffie.
his
Yuffie, Poof,
little
and Pito.
again, like I think was it it was a Yuppie?
He's the red guy, yeah.
His ability wasn't he an enhancer?
I think so. I'm
I
not
believe
100% sure. I'd have to double check, but I think
but yeah,
yeah.
just like I mean, just showing like even them, like they had like such relatively small lives, right? Like
Yeah.
like what was it? How many days? Like it was days
Yeah,
essentially,
they weren't alive for very long.
and even then, like their abilities reflected their personalities. So I think it's just really cool.
But I just like how unique they go. Like for example, Kite has a different weapon that comes out for that has like all these different effects, and it all depends on chance. And
Yeah,
then
I
there's like
hate that. Okay, but there's things that
no,
I
I
hate
love
like
it.
that
I love it.
because it's like it says his skill. Like, why couldn't he just summon the best item that he has? Like, because
They're
then
all good though. He just doesn't think they are. Because think about it. Nen has limitations. There's a
yeah,
strong limitation cap. You can't just have the best thing every time, or his other weapons they wouldn't be as strong of a net ability. The reason that his weapons are also strong is because the
it's
limitation he has in
random.
place. The
That's
randomness aspect of his ability is what makes his weapon so strong. If he just had it so he always had this sight or whatever the strongest one is, then the cycle would be a lot weaker than it currently is than if you roll it randomly through gambling because of the implementation that he put in place, which is just what's so unique to me. Like that's why Kurapika is so much stronger against Phantom Troop members, but
Yeah.
if it's against any other person, he's just gonna be pretty average.
Yeah.
But
He's
he's
still
only that
strong.
strong because of the implementations he put in place.
Yeah.
And like for example, like Morel being like going against the cheetah guy in the big dome.
Yeah.
Like the only reason that works is because the way that he implemented it. So it's just like I think that um Togashi? Ooh, Togashi. Am I wrong with that? Am I a fake Hunter x Hunter fan? Oh yeah, that's yeah, Yoshihiro Togashi. I think that Togashi really sat down and put the most effort into making his power system not like all the others. Like he wanted it to stand out and have strengths and weaknesses and have limitations and have all these things. And I don't really think I can name anything better than it. And I have lots of things on this list.
It is really good. And I think, like you're saying, there's a lot of checks and balances that really make it shine. Just because,
Mhm.
like, though, then there's Crollo.
I mean,
Crollo's ability.
he's tough with specialists,
Yeah.
but I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
he's OP, but like I think it's only good because he knows how to use it.
Yeah. So there is like a skill, there's a curve to it. So, uh, yeah, honestly, like you make fair points. I can't really say much about it, like, because it is really good. I'm trying to think of any holes in like
It's pretty
sometimes
solid.
it is solid. It can be whack, like some abilities like can be like kind of weird.
Mhm.
I mean, look at what was the goth girl? What was her name again? From the
Um,
Phantom Troop.
Shizuku or
She's
the vacuum cleaner one?
the vacuum cleaner. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just like that's such a
Shizuku,
like
isn't it?
it's just
Yeah, Shizuku. Did I know my
yeah.
Hunter x Hunter? I
Yeah, I
know that
know.
shit.
That's why I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking. But yeah, no, I think that like even that's such a random weird ability, but like
It
it's
is.
like it's pretty cool. I think now what are we? How are we equating the best? Like,
I think the most complete, the most balanced, the most thought put into it, in the least holes.
well, does it have to be balanced? Like, cause
Okay, no, I guess it doesn't. It doesn't have to.
like another ability like another power system I'm thinking of is my hero like right
Yep.
like so like
Works.
some people have the ability to like shoot water out of their water out of their hands, and then
Some
some
people
people
have
have
scales.
all might that like freaking can knock over skyscrapers with one punch.
Yeah. And I think quirks are a fantastic power system.
I think they are that's one of the first things I thought about was quirks.
It's definitely up there on my list.
Yeah.
Um, I think that it's different because quirks, there's a lot of people that have really dumb quirks and a lot of people that have really cool quirks. And I feel like that how large of a difference there is. And like yes, like Mirio, for example, had a quirk that everyone says is terrible, but he mastered that quirk to the best of its ability and made himself insanely strong.
Yeah.
But there's some quirks, like for example, one that just makes you have like gills or something, or like a big head, or like the tail guy. He's always going to be limited to what he can do.
Oh, the tail. I think that's the dumbest. Like,
Exactly. Like
I don't understand how he made it into UA. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like there's quirks like that that are always gonna make me feel like they're held back from being as good as Nen. But to be honest, I think quirks are up there and maybe top three to top five territory for power systems, just because of
Yeah.
how unique it is.
I
The fact
think
that
they're
like
super unique. Like so other
yeah,
than Tetsu.
no, but there's like that was like a gag. That was like a joke gag.
It's like
Like
yeah. Kirishima and Tetsu.
it's so unique for and like the fact that like it sometimes depends on your parents, sometimes it doesn't. Like you can pair like Todoroki, for example, like half and half, and just like
So cool. So
we
cool.
every single person we've seen in the show besides Tetsu and Kirishima have had a unique quirk that's
Yeah,
completely
and the
different.
drawbacks. I like the drawbacks too, because like
Yes.
it's not like overpowered with some things like Katsuki, like Bakugo, right? Like he
Mhm.
sweats nitroglycerin, which is
Mhm.
like also like again cool concept, and he's able to
Very
light the. But he has limitations. Like he can't
mhm.
launch those big launches without hurting his whole arm facing the recoil. He's storing that up. There's a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah.
Um,
Weapons like tools definitely help out with that, which I think makes sense and like for example like his gauntlet thing
yeah,
make
he
that
can
easier.
store it. Yep.
But
And
Yeah,
it's like also like with what was his name? I know his for some reason I remember his superhero name like
what
Great
is it?
Brush. It's the man,
What's he do?
I
Like, what's
wa
what's his quirk?
the guy takes out his hair like the balls and sticky balls.
Mineta?
Mineta, that's it. Yeah,
Uh,
Mineta. Like even Mineta, like he may be able to throw away the balls. Like he can't do that forever. His head will start bleeding like because of this. Like, and that's just like two ideas. And like Kaminari with
I
his
think Kaminari is the
electricity,
best example of this because
he's
he has
so
an
strong.
insanely strong quirk, but an insanely strong drawback. And being able to manage that and utilize your abilities and like watch your like voltage levels until you go overboard, like it's
Mm.
perfect. I think I really do love that.
And even with Todoroki, like again, the I think he's the pinnacle of perfect quirk, right? Something that
Yeah,
like has drawback. Like they both
they cancel each other.
cancel each other out and is perfect. But the thing is, he's all long range. He's mainly mid to long range. He's not really a good short range like if you get him on a one-on-one hand-to-hand combat, he's losing every single time.
Yeah,
So
but like the only quirk that really doesn't have a drawback is like Deku. Like what is the
I mean,
drawback?
that's like a
One
combination of
for
all
all.
these. I guess it's just the only, and then this is like the lame answer, right? Is like exhaustion. I guess is his
I
like
guess,
he can
yeah.
just because he has so much power, he can get exhausted. I don't even need quicker,
I
honestly.
mean, I guess he was like made to be the perfect hero, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it's hard. That one, like he really has everything. Like he has all the quirks too. Like he has like he's not like All Might, which he was. He's only a brawler. Now
Hmm.
he has what he has the
Everything.
gears. He
Smoke
has
screen,
smoke screen. He has
black
like the
whip.
black whip. Yep.
Gotcha. I can't
God,
think of the video, dude. I'm not. Let's not get into that. Dude, that sound is so funny.
I, God, God.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're
I
talking
gotta say
about.
one word, and you know what I'm talking about. All
Yeah.
right, moving on
Anyway,
though.
another power system. I mean, what else could like Bleach's power system? But I know you're not really into it yet, so
Yeah.
you really can't talk about it
Spiritual
much,
pressure.
huh?
Would you say more
Yeah,
spiritual pressure or more like Bankai's?
I'd say like spiritual, like spirit pressure. Yeah, like I'd say that's
Everyone
more
says it's
accurate.
really good power system. I feel
Yeah.
like I haven't seen enough on it to like I know what spiritual pressure is,
Hmm.
but like I can't confidently speak on it at all right now.
Like right now, like I would say like
Feel free to talk about it. I don't.
no, I mean like right now from like because again I've only watched Soul Society arc
Yeah,
and
you're
like
like maybe
I've seen
30 episodes ahead of me.
I've seen the captains. I've seen like everyone's spiritual, pressure. I've
Hmm.
seen, and then like it is can be like it is a shonen, so there
Hmm.
can be like ups and downs. Like oh, you have a certain
Yeah.
spiritual pressure, but you'll get stronger because of the power of friendship, or
Hmm.
like you really want to defeat someone.
Hmm.
Um, there is some of that as well, and there's some plot. So like
Yeah.
it is good measure because then you can also use like other things, but it doesn't how can I say this? It is unique in the sense of Bankais are unique because
Yeah.
the weapons are unique, but the actual power you get, like the spiritual power, there's
Yeah.
only so much you can do. So it's like it's not it is unique and it's not, like I don't think it's as individualistic as for the person. It's dependent on the weapon. Um
Yeah. Like the
yeah.
Zanpakuto.
Yeah.
I feel like we might also have a changed opinion on spiritual pressure as we watch more Bleach and more
Yeah.
arcs
Yeah,
happen.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
imagine judging hockey when all we know about it is like what we saw Rayleigh do in Sabaody, you know? Like it's almost impossible to judge that
Yeah.
early on.
Actually, I think
Maybe
that's a good segue though to I think we should talk about hockey.
now hockey, devil fruits, they're both different power systems, you know?
Yeah.
I think hockey is a fantastic power system.
Yep.
But I think devil fruits could be lackluster sometimes. Because devil fruits also can almost be useless now because of hockey. Um now spoilers for One Piece. I think we all know about how important hockey is now. Kaido saying hockey overall after Wano.
Yeah.
But I think that hockey is getting a little confusing though too. Like we have observation, we have conquerors, we have armament, we have advanced versions of all of those three. We have like um advanced observation where you can even see into the future. Now we have like Wi-Fi type hockey where Shanks is literally TPing as hockey and beating up Green Bull in Wano. Like, is that Advanced Conquerors? Is that
I
something
think it's
else?
Advanced Conquerors. I'm pretty sure. Like if I were to, I think
But
that's
like
Advanced Conquerors.
we've like people have been saying that like in Luffy versus Kaido fight they're using Advanced Conquerors there and because they're saying that
Infusing it with the advanced
the
armament.
the Rio or whatever the thing they
Yeah.
learned from the old guy in Wano is supposed to
Yeah.
be Advanced Conquerors that he mixes in with the thing, which is why Wano people are so strong. But then was that Wi-Fi thing that Shanks did a different version, or is that like the same as like advanced observation being
I
several
thought
seconds in the future?
actually that's something I was gonna like. I guess I should talk about. I
Yeah.
thought Rio was more advanced armament with, and then he sort of started adding because he was able to show Rio before he started adding Conqueror's hockey to it.
Yeah.
Because
All
then
I
you
know is that
mentioned it.
he was definitely using Conqueror's hockey in the fight against Kaido.
Yes, I agree. That was, but it was not at the beginning though. He started using it after. Remember, he started glowing,
Yeah.
and like that. That's when he was started using it much more. And he's like, yes, he's infusing it more. But you might be right. It might be like he wasn't able to do it fully all the time, and he
Yeah, I
was
don't know.
unable. But that means that like you're talking about people in every person being able to use Rio. He has Conqueror's hockey, and I don't think that's
Yeah, I
possible.
don't
So,
think.
so I think Rio's just advanced armament hockey.
Yeah. But it's also like tough. Like I feel like we might need to bring like a One Piece expert that's better than us in here or something. But like, see,
Well,
also,
we're talking to them right
no,
now.
dude. But also like seeing like Shanks's level of observation, being able to see kids attack before it happened versus like Katakuri's. Like
Yeah,
they're both advanced observation, but like when does it become advanced observation? Is it just when like just a little bit into like would you say that an Enel's mantra was just regular observation, or is it advanced because he could see everything happening on the entire island? Like how like where's this cutoff for like hockey? Where I feel like it's not very clear, and like there's been complaints sometimes about how like Toei is doing too much coloring or too much to show off hockey, and like in the manga they show it differently, and then in the anime they try to show this for this and this for this, but it's confusing. Like it's not consistent. I feel like.
yeah. It's like that's why it was confusing whenever we were in Marineford, right?
Hmm.
And like they're all using hockey, like every single one of
Yeah.
them. That's why. So
Probably
like, but
conkers and everything. Probably.
like, well, at
I
least
don't know.
only. I mean, only. I think there's not many people who use Conquerors there. I think it would only be what,
Whitebeard.
Whitebeard and even
Maybe
what
Akainu. Whitebeard
Akainu. Like,
definitely, dude. Whitebeard
I
definitely.
no, no. I'm trying to think like Akai. I don't think Akainu would have
I
Conquerors.
don't think it's confirmed that any of the admirals have conkers,
I
to
don't
my
think
knowledge.
so. I wouldn't think so. It's that isn't the Conquerors is kind of isn't it born from the like that kind of hunger to be the best or
Yeah,
hunger to be like
which I
so
could see him having, but he wanted to become the fleet admiral, which he is now. So
he's it could be. I don't know.
yeah, I
There's
don't know.
something
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, so I agree with you. So like that I personally like the idea of the coloring of like being like black. Like you can actually
Mhm.
see the like it being like armament hockey.
Yeah.
And then observation hockey being again, I think they might be doing a little too much with the seeing super
Effects.
far in the future.
Mhm.
I don't think that's just I think observation hockey should just be like being able to like, interpret I don't know.
I see what you mean, but like
It is
I feel like
lackluster.
there's a lot to interpret with hockey. Like for example, did you see Film Red?
Yeah.
Like the fact that and Usopp were able to like use observation hockey to like find out the position of Uta through dimensions or something. Like there's so much about hockey we don't know, and I feel like unlike other
I
things like
feel like they don't know either.
yeah, like unlike quirks and Nen, I feel like hockey is so
It's boundless. It's
yeah, exactly.
boundless.
And I feel like just because of confusing moments and not everything being straightforward, as much as I love hockey and think it's a fantastic power system, I would not put it above Nen or Quirks. Like
When I think I can't say it's fantastic, all I would say it's like it's entertaining to watch, but I
I think
don't
it's
think it's
perfect for
balanced.
I think it's perfect for One Piece, but I couldn't imagine it anywhere else.
Yeah, and then also like you said, like hockey kind of making devil fruits. Like
Yeah,
devil fruits make it unique. Like
yeah,
it's like it takes that uniqueness. It's like if there were like a bunch of like big like pie chart, right? Like how uniqueness is like it's really unique. It can be very strong,
mhm.
but in the grand scheme of things, like if you have hockey, if you have advanced hockey versus advanced like a devil fruit, like you probably will take the like hockey most of the time,
Exactly.
unless it's like
Like
again,
imagine
it's
like
like the god, like the Nika,
hmm hmm
it's yeah, you can
like Logia fruits used to be like unbeatable. Like we could like the only way that we could combat against Logia devil fruits was with Sea Prism Stone.
yeah
But the fact that like a skilled hockey user like Sabo before he ate the Maramara could easily defeat like Crocodile with like a sand type devil fruit or Smoker with a smoke type devil fruit.
yeah.
And
So
like I kind of liked that Logias were kind of like this all powerful thing, but I understand it needs to have a weakness. Um, and then the fact that like mythical Zoans being crazy good, and then like all,
mm,
I definitely think devil fruits I think are more unique than and more interesting than hockey. As much as I love hockey as a power system, the fact
yeah
that there's all these different, like I almost see devil fruits more like quirks, because like
yeah
oh they're like not everybody has them, but like a
yep.
lot less people have them than quirks of course. But like there's like all these super unique paramecia types, like the dude that can cut things and turns into food, or like the girl in Dressrosa that touches you and you become a toy, or like
That was so stupid. I hated that.
there's so many unique and interesting devil fruits, whether they're Logias, whether they're Zoans, whether they're mythical Zoans, whether they're Paramecia. Like, I think that devil fruits are done great, but I think that devil fruits and hockey together can sometimes not be as great.
Yeah,
But like, I still One Piece is still my favorite anime. I love both devil fruits and hockey. I can just see the shortcomings of them to think that it's not as strong as like a Nen or a Quirk.
agreed.
Man, that's
And
really
then
all I have.
what about Naruto
Chakra.
Chakra? I think it's great. I also really like Chakra.
I think that Chakra I might actually like more than devil fruits and hockey.
I like it more than I clearly like it more than because it makes sense because it's literally just like it's like a meter in a video game. Like you're only
Yep.
able to use certain jutsu. Like certain people have like again, it's like certain jutsu are hereditary.
Yep.
Like if you're from like
Affinity
the
for them.
yeah
Like in like Uchiha, of course, only have the Sharingan, and also their affinity is towards like fire style jutsu.
yep
Like other clans' affinities are towards other jutsus, like the mind control jutsu for Ino and stuff.
yeah
I
like
think it's great.
it's phenomenal. I like I mean also I am biased because I grew up with it, but like I just remember just like seeing it in Kakashi the copy ninja, like the
Yeah.
fact that he can copy other jutsu, but it's like he can like I don't know. There's a lot of things like it's flexible,
Mhm.
it's bounded, so it's not like it can't be crazy. It can be strong.
Yep.
It can be like and then it can be unfair at times because some people are born with more hot. I was gonna say hockey, more chakra than others.
Yes.
Like Naruto, like he can
But that's also hereditary.
shadow
Like the
clone.
Uzumaki clan had a lot of like even excluding Kurama giving him chakra, he
Yeah.
has a lot of chakra on its own. That's
Oh,
just
for
one
sure.
part of the Uzumaki,
Yeah.
which is just another hereditary thing, which I think makes sense.
Yeah. So it's I think it's something like quirks. I think it's equivalent to quirks, but like if you were to compare the two, right?
hmm
Like what power system would be better among those two? Like how would you compare those two?
So it gets tough because I think a lot of anime based their power system off Naruto's quirks. I mean,
Hmm.
of course, Nen was Hunter x Hunter's older, which that came first, and I think when we get into later, Ki for Dragon Ball is the OG power system.
Yeah.
But with Chakra, I feel like in OG Naruto at the very beginning, I liked it a lot more. Kind of
Yeah.
like as we were going into like hereditary stuff and like certain clans having certain things and just like seeing. But then it gets a little bit crazy when you bring like Jinchurikis and like also getting chakra from the tailed beasts and then all that into it as well. But I think as a whole, the idea behind chakra and how basic it is and how much explaining they do and chakra points and how it flows through your body and just everything, I think I like chakra better than quirks.
And jutsus, bro. Jutsus are so cool. The fact
Exactly. Because you can learn jutsus, and the more you practice them, the better you get. Like they went to school, they practiced their jutsus.
yep.
Where with quirks, you're stuck with one quirk and you kind of have to do what you can with it, which is great. But like there's like a certain amount of jutsu. Everyone can learn a shadow clone jutsu or like a clone jutsu, you know?
You
And
can
just
you produce 5,000 shadow clones
no,
or five shadow clones?
exactly. But I just feel like if someone has the motivation and sits down and practices and really try like Naruto did. Like I feel like chakra is really that's where that shines. I feel like there's just so much possibilities, so much capabilities that chakra has that just makes it go a little bit above quirks.
I would
Where
put it
like,
above quirks.
only
Yeah,
because things like the tail quirk exist. Like I think that's the only reason that like it's really tough because there's some things about quirks I like better, and then there's some things I like about chakra that's better. So it's really tough. It's really tough.
yeah. So right now, I probably would put like, but the problem, mm, I was gonna say like with Hunter x Hunter's power system, like it's couldn't you say that also like you can be kind of stuck with one things as well though? Like if you try to
No,
develop your one
I don't.
abilities with bungee gum, right? Like he had like Hisoka's bungee gum, but if
Hmm.
he wanted to try to figure something else out, can he just get rid of bungee gum and just do something else?
No, but I think he's capable of using bungee gum into other types of things. Like for example, Gon's an enhancer and he has his rock, but then he
Hmm.
also developed paper and scissors. You know, I did this backwards, but paper and scissors as well. But like he was able to find one thing that fits him and then fit the other things in the circle towards his thing. Where like Hisoka, for example, is a I don't even know what I don't remember what he is, like a transmuter or something, like transmutes it into bungee gum. But that's what his main thing is. But I still think he's capable of using like an enhancer ability or like utilizing his bungee gum in a way that uses enhancer type abilities, making his thing stronger, or maybe using it like I feel like yes, people can become more individualized, but with Nen versus like quirks, they choose what they want to do and they build
Yeah.
it based on what they think is fits versus if someone's born with a shitty quirk, they're just like, well, damn, I'm stuck with this and have to make the best of it.
No, I'm just saying like if I were like for Hunter x Hunter, like you're
Mhm.
basically like yes, you can be like your transmuter, right? But you also have an if you can have like a little bit of an affinity. Like it's not like just like you're one, you're the other. Like you can learn the other ones. You're just not going to be as proficient as
Exactly.
someone else. I like that. However, I think but it's flexible, but it's not as flexible as chakra though, I feel like. Cuz chakra like you
Um,
can have well there is well I say this, but then I think of the elements, right? Elemental jutsu. Like you have
mhm.
affinities towards, Naruto had the affinity towards wind, Sasuke has an affinity towards fire. So it's just like so there are pros and cons. So I would probably even tie like chakra and nen abilities almost together. Like I would probably tie them because I think there's really good with both.
I see what you mean, but just like for example, Hisoka is a transmuter, right? I just looked it up, and
Okay.
transmutation is changing the quality of aura to match something else,
Mhm.
which is changing it to rubber, which is the same thing that I think Killua is. He's a transmuter that transmutes it into electricity, and that's like let's say that's right here on the circle. Well, enhancement's up here, and so I still think that Hisoka could do enhancement type things like strengthening themselves or an object, etc.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
strengthening his bungee gum to do this. But then he also, if he goes down to conjuration, creating objects from aura, I think he'd also be able to create an object or something.
Like just not as
Like
well as actual like
just not as good as
conjurer.
like
Yeah.
that dude from the Phantom Troop that made copies of all the stuff from the auction, you
Yeah.
know? But then like could he go over and do like a mission, which is detaching it from your body? Maybe not as well because a couple jumps over. Versus like if somebody's born in the Hidden Leaf Village,
That's the
they're
only place in the hidden leaf. Like
yeah.
in Naruto, that's the only place you need to know.
If they're born in the hidden leaf, they might not really be using techniques that are in the hidden sand or the hidden, like, you know? So, like, every village has their own type of jutsu they teach, and there's always basic ones, but then, as you say, the clans, like, this clan does this, this clan does this.
And elemental as well. Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's just, like, you could really say either one is better. Like, I think Chakra and Nen are the two most fleshed out, in my opinion.
I think it's really thought. Yeah.
Like, they're really close to mine. Like, it's hard to choose one or the other. I'm always going to choose Nen because I'm biased, but. I can see if someone said Chakra was better than Nen, I wouldn't be mad at that.
I think it's more I think if we're talking like also like Nen is more unique. Like it's very
Yeah.
unique. It's literally to the individual. But Chakra, like everyone can do, like you said, everyone can do a shadow clone. Everyone to like other
Chakra
than if
kind
you're
of like
making a new jutsu like Naruto, making the Rasen Shuriken, right? That's
mm. I think Chakra took I think it took Ki from Dragon Ball and just made it a little bit unique towards its own thing. Because I think
okay.
Ki
Yeah,
is a very basic power system that all power systems were kind of built off of.
yeah. I mean, Ki is like it's like a life energy. You
Hmm.
use that, and then I mean, just like Chakra, it's just like probably. I mean, anything else. But
Like
then like
anybody can learn the Kamehameha. They just have
yeah.
to have the key energy to do it and then learn how to do it. It might take a while. And like that's why I think that like Dragon Ball is a cool power system for the fact that it
It's very simple.
it was the baseline for every other power system for just like we have energy that can do energy blasts and this and then flying and that and that's all from Ki. And of course Super Saiyan and transformations and stuff are going to be a little bit different, but that's not really a power system as much as it's just transformations, you know?
Do transformations? I thought they also don't they also multiply the amount of key you have as
Yes.
well. So
Yep.
it's because I know like Super Saiyan was like a times 50 multiplier.
And there's also Kaioken on top of that.
Kaioken, yep.
But yeah, that's why
So
like I don't really have much to say about Ki,
it's very simple. It's
except
like the
that like I respect it, and I think that things like Chakra thrive because of the existence of Ki. Because
yeah.
Chakra is also like that level of energy within you that like you can use towards you running out
Mhm.
and like if you think about it, even other shows have like limits like Ki kind of. Like if you even look at quirks, for example, like Momo. Eventually, she's gonna get tired from pulling stuff out of her. There's only so much energy she has. Like, yeah, it's not key, but it's still like an energy associated with her quirk before she can't do it anymore. Same with
I
all the other
have
quirks.
something else though. I just don't remember this. If you remember for
Mhm.
key, are you because with chakra specifically, there's like the chakra system. You get to see the diagram
Point,
of it
yeah.
flowing, right? So then now like the Hyuga clan,
Hmm.
you can actually cut off those chakra points,
Yeah.
and then you can't use chakra anymore.
Yeah.
That's also really unique. That's something that you don't really see with everywhere else. And it's like so with ki, was there any person that could shut off ki in your body, like just
Not
like
that
kind of
I
like
remember.
physically? I don't
It's been too
remember.
long. Yeah.
Someone can tell us, but like I don't remember. Maybe I'm
Which I
trying to
think just
think.
builds off of how Naruto was like Chakra was able to it was able to take the best qualities from Ki and make it its own.
They make it better too. I
Yeah.
think. And the inner gates. Come on,
No hate
come
to Dragon
on.
Ball. No hate to Dragon Ball over here, but
Yeah. It's
yeah.
good. I mean, it's solid. It's like I don't see like many. I mean, it's just simplistic. It's not anything crazy. It's not unique. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, like the power system, other than like the Kamehameha, like anyone can learn the Kamehameha. There's no
Yeah.
like affinities or anything like that either. So it's either you get it or you don't. Essentially, I think it's just individualistic. So
Yeah.
not power system related.
All right. Another power system that a lot of people like, but I can't speak as much on as you probably can. Cursed Energy from JJK.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't seen season two, so I
Hmm.
mean, I know what it is. I've seen Cursed Energy. I mean, you could
Hmm.
even throw domain expansions into this being part of Cursed Energy.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I mean, Cursed Energy is kind of unique. I mean, the fact that everybody kind of has a different type of strategy, but like I
It
feel like
just
there's like
my first thought is Naruto. It just kind of reminds me of its kind of
exactly.
similar system of chakra. It's you know
I mean, I think domain expansions are pretty unique, but I feel like the
yeah.
idea of cursed energy in the first place is pretty chakra related.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I really don't have much to say about cursed energy except for the fact that I feel like it just falls short with it by the other ones.
You think it falls like I don't know. There's again, it's really unique as well. Like I mean, if you look at like Gojo's curse technique, like the his eyes, and then his also like the Gojo clans.
That's also kind of
Um,
hereditary, which gets
again,
into Naruto stuff.
hereditary. It's Naruto from like so like it has the hereditary stuff,
Same with like the
and
Zenin clan, like Megumi, he like does like summon, like he like summons that.
mhm.
I think is that part of his clan? Is that hereditary as well? Which then would be, or is that just something that he learned for his cursed energy? Like And then like for example like Toto, like he's just kind of like a brawl type, like with like clap. Like I feel like
Yeah.
it, the thing
Boogie
about
woogie.
the thing about cursed energy versus chakra is I feel like cursed energy takes a lot of ideas from chakra and then um it kind of allows you to have that more unique twist like a quirk.
Mhm. It's very it's not okay, so it's not as broad. I don't think it's as like diverse as chakra and jutsus because you can
Yeah.
have millions of jutsus and everything, but like with curse technique, like there are a lot of techniques, but I it could also be that like, we've had 500 plus episodes of Naruto and
Naruto,
Naruto
yeah.
Shippuden
Mhm.
added together. But like with Jujutsu Kaisen, you haven't really seen much, and it's like also the clans, like there's certain family like famous families, but like in JJK, what there's only like
There's a
four.
couple,
So
but
like the Zanin
I,
clan,
I
the
don't
I mean
really
the
remember them,
Gojo
but
clan, like there's a couple other clans, but um there are unique. There are. It's just what I'm thinking is just it's not as fleshed out. So
yeah.
there are very unique stuff to it, but it's just like Naruto, but it's like almost like a subsection because it also takes into the fact that like you said, like domain expansions are something that's really unique and I really do enjoy because it's I mean it's that's unique to you as well, right? It's
Mhm.
not the concept and the individuals. Every person's domain expansion is different.
The
So
thing about chakra is I feel like they started us out really slow and introducing everything step by step as like the beginning of Naruto was pretty basic
yeah.
and I liked that and then it got more advanced we got to Shippuden then we learned more and more and more etc. But with
Mhm.
JJK there's a lot more going on with just like and it kind of throws it at you it's just a lot faster paced which just doesn't flesh out cursed energy as much as some of these other power systems where we have so much more time with them like Haki and chakra etc.
Yeah, and then reverse curse technique, by the way, like to
Yeah.
heal. It's like healing jutsu, right?
Mhm.
Like so it's like there are a lot of similarities. I just like you're saying.
I would never
It's
put it
just
above Naruto just because it took so much from it, you know?
yeah, I think it's still really cool though. Like I really do like it. I like the visualization of it as well, like though how it looks like. Um
I put it around like hockey level. Um,
yeah.
I think that's kind of where I would place it, but not really. I think Nen, Chakra, and
I think
Quirks.
it's better than hockey.
Hockey.
I'm thinking it's better than like because
I'm
it's
biased, but
I think it's if it's just because I'm tying it with Jujutsu's like with Naruto because I think it's gonna be below Naruto, but it's not gonna be that much farther because it's
okay,
practically like very like it's practically the same thing.
yeah, okay, I can see that.
Um,
I can see that.
yeah,
Now here's one that people love, but I can't speak on it, and I don't think you can really speak on it either. But Stands from JoJo. You haven't seen it yet. You haven't seen how much JoJo have you seen? Any?
no, I haven't seen any really. Only thing I've watched is like the first
Yeah.
and second episode of the first season.
So I've watched parts one and two. I plan to watch Stardust Crusaders at some point. I've dropped the show too many times, but I'd love to talk on stands. Me and Khan cannot, but I think that stands are cool from what I know about them. I
I
just
don't
think
know
that
much.
I don't want to like mess up anything I say, so I think we kind of leave stands out of this
Yeah,
conversation. But you JoJo fans definitely speak up. I can see them being a top three power system, but they're super unique when it comes like to even more unique than quirks and stuff. And I think that stands are really cool. I just
they
can't
look cool.
I can't speak on them without messing up. I really don't want to say anything wrong.
Zawaldo, like
Yeah. Um.
oh no! There's a lot of there's a. I need to watch JoJo's.
Yeah, me too. All right, I have a couple more on here that I want to hear your opinion on, and then we'll kind of finish out.
Yeah.
Um, Black Clover, like magic and grimoires.
What I said before, and I'll say it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like if Black Clover is if you took Naruto and you took Fairy Tale and had a child, and that's that show right there
I
in a
think it's
nutshell.
cool though how many different types of grimoires there are, and it's like Naruto, as you said,
Hmm.
like family type. Like of course, the Silva family all is gonna have like similar type of water type attacks.
Yep.
Um, I like that. And like the like Mereoleona and Fuegoleon are both fire type thing.
Hmm.
It's definitely literally like Naruto, but then like I feel like the Grimoire makes it more unique because it allows like more spells and kind of like it's almost like putting all your jutsus in a book.
Yep.
It's like Naruto, but I think it's not as good as Naruto. But I think I like it more than Spirit than
Because everyone has
and
chakra, but like not everyone is like can be a wizard in
yes,
that world. So
I think I like Magic and Grimoires better than Cursed Energy though, in my opinion.
more than cursed energy, huh? Um,
hmm Just because
but
I feel
that's
like
also that's another thing though. Like everyone can be a jujutsu sorcerer. Technically, everyone can use cursed energy technically in
yes,
Jujutsu Kaisen as
but
well.
just like seeing the split between like someone like Magna who has like a flaming baseball bat and like the baseball bat and like
So
throw like
lame in my
versus like
opinion.
things like Luck with like lightning village versus like things like Charmy who like I feel like and then you can even go to like the captains like the one that has like the dream realm. I feel like there's just so many unique
So
abilities in
cool.
Black Clover that are so cool. And I really haven't seen that much from JJK. It's just domain expansions.
Domain expansions are the main unique factor, I think. But like, I
Like
mean, I'm trying to think. Like, there's also a lot of fighting. I mean, like you see Toji is just a brawler, and then you see. I mean, also Nanami has his ability.
mhm.
Um, let
Like
me
would you
think.
rather have cursed energy or would you rather have a grimoire?
I feel like you could do more with cursed energy, though. You know, like I
I don't
feel like
know,
it's more
dude. I
flexible because
don't.
if you like, it's almost like you have a grimoire, right? But like
Mhm.
you're stuck with that. You're stuck with whatever you got. Like that, the Silva family
Mm,
can is like is water, right?
But you could do a lot with it. Like there's techniques and stuff that you can develop and make unique to yourself.
Yeah, but you're still stuck with water, right?
How is that any different than like being born into like something that specialize a family that specializes in something that both
In
Naruto and
Naruto, because you can still use a bunch of other jutsus. Like you might just not be proficient, and you can use
yeah,
all these other ones, but you're only like kind of stuck with these water types. And I'm only saying this because like with cursed energy, you can use a bunch of cursed energy techniques,
yeah,
except the hereditary ones. Obviously, like you're
yeah,
not doing Gojo
yeah, yeah.
in limitless technique, but
Mm.
I just don't. It's hard. I think I agree with you though, because I think elements are kind of cooler because,
Yeah.
like you said, like you can what summon cursed beings. You can, you can attack with it. You can imbue cursed energy. You can fight, and there are like certain abilities like transmutation we saw with Mahito. You can change positions with things with cursed energy, but there's not much more depth to it. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
like very simplistic ideas, but with grimoires and with jutsus, there's so much more depth to it.
I feel like cursed energy almost takes a lot of good details from Naruto and a lot of good details from Nen and puts them together. Because a
Yeah,
lot of Nen techniques are kind of shown in cursed energy, which is why I just don't feel like it's as unique. Versus like even though something like grimoires and magic from Black Clover is so basic, I enjoy it more.
it could just be our bias towards
It
magic.
could be. It could
I
be.
think because I think Nen
You could
because
pull
Nen.
Fairy Tail in the conversation too.
I mean, because Toto's boogie woogie like is like his Nen ability, right? Like he can
Yeah.
switch up, like that's his Nen ability. So I think it
Yeah.
has a uniqueness with it. I just don't think there's a I just don't for me again. I could be totally biased towards these other shows, but I think there's no more depth to it.
Yeah.
It's not as deep as as
Chakra.
Nen abilities like Bungee Gum and
Mhm.
Aiming Jutsus and family. The being
Yeah.
Uzumaki sealing in the Uzumaki clan. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
But I still feel like even if we put Cursed Energy above like Grimoires from Black Clover, I think Black Clover does magic better than Fairy Tail. Even if you want to bring in Dragon Slayer magic, I think the idea of putting Grimoires in makes magic more unique in Black Clover than Fairy Tail. Because a lot of the magic, like, yes, there's like key magic and stuff as well, like the summons of keys from Lucy, but otherwise, the magic in Fairy Tail is pretty lame unless you're a Dragon Slayer with Dragon Slayer magic.
That's
Unless you're
funny.
Nasu or Loxus or Gajiel or Sting or Rogue or like a member of Fairy like
I mean, Lucy's
Makarov.
magic is sick.
Yeah, but like
I like her keys.
I mean I guess there's like of course like Levy or whatever has like her card magic is pretty cool. Like there's always exceptions, but like I think that the grimoire magic we've seen in Black Clover is cooler than the magic we've seen
I
in
just
Fairy
think
Tail.
Black Clover is better than Fairy Tale. Let's just be honest. Like I think that's like I think
Yeah,
Fairy Tale is
yeah,
like very like don't get me wrong, it will always have a special place in my heart because I
Hmm.
grew up watching it and it's like super cool. And then, the Natsu Lucy shipping has always been a thing.
Oh yeah.
Um, but it's such a simple plot. It's just so simple. I hate the power of friendship. I hate it. But do you remember? Not, I mean, come on, you have to remember. What was his name? The strongest fairy tale member. Um,
Loxus?
no, 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 no.
Oh,
His
oh, the one that looks like Gildarts.
Gildarts. That's it.
Gildarts, dude. Yes,
His
okay, you're right. He was
his
bad.
part,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Like his powers were badass. Like,
Yeah, okay.
but I see what you're saying. Like the other people, like they are unique to everyone, but it's also like
It's a
they're
big disparity.
kind of lame. Like there's some like the card, like it's kind of lame. Like there's a lot of
Look,
lamos, but yeah.
all Magic Knights are pretty impressive.
Yeah, they
Like,
all have like, well, the baseball one was kind of lame. Like, like
hey,
that was
hey, don't shit on my man Magna, but
Magna is kind of lame. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
He annoys me. But like, I mean,
Like
even
Nessa with like the rib, like the ribbon of fate cat thing. Like, there's
that's
so many
super
cool things.
cool. Like, I just personally think it's just
Yeah,
better and it's more entertaining to watch.
yeah. All right, there's a couple more I'm gonna rattle off, and then we'll get into some of them, maybe not all of them.
Yeah.
The ones I don't really think we have to get into. So, Gurren Lagann Spiral Power
Oh, that
is
one's yeah.
more like the idea that like, oh, you like always push your best to get like that. It has been too long since I watched that to really rate that as a power system, but I also think it kind of just falls behind the other ones.
Yeah, it's
Um,
not that one's more like the power of friendship and like the like it yeah.
I mean, great show by the way, fantastic show. Watch Gurren
Oh,
Lagann, but
8.5 out of 10. Easy.
I gave it like a 9.5. I think like I give it a 9 or a 10. I don't know, but
I would, yeah, I just wouldn't give it a 9, but I wouldn't give it an 8. I would give it an 8.5.
I think we both stopped watching this show halfway through. Hell's Paradise. Um,
Yeah,
Tau.
yeah.
They call it Tau as their power system.
Mhm.
Apparently, people love it, especially manga readers. I don't really know if I can speak on it at all though, because I don't even
I
really know what it
can't.
is.
No,
So
I
that's
can't.
another power system people might be able to speak up on, but I feel like it still doesn't compare to things like chakra and quirks and etc.
I don't know. Like I would have
Um,
yeah. This is also like a small subset of like
yeah,
what we
it is.
actually watch. Like so I mean, we could
I
probably
know.
keep talking for another hour or two
Hour,
about
yeah.
keep finding
We
new
won't.
power
We
systems,
won't
but
though.
yeah.
There's two more I want to mention, then I'll rattle off a couple shows, but a couple shows I'm not going to get into, like Seven Deadly Sins, but I'm not
Oh
really
yeah, like the
not really a
okay, yeah.
key power system in there. Mob Psycho, I mean, they have like psychic powers, but I wouldn't really say it's a power system. It's really just Mob has that and a few other characters.
Yeah, it's
Even
yeah.
like One Punch Man, I mean, it's kind of all over the place to be considered a power system.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
Um,
quirks, right? But like
yeah,
but it's honestly, I mean, it's like quirks. I mean, it's the same. It's like there's a people with like that
but
have
most
the
people are
most
normal.
insane.
It's like if you took the percentage of people that don't have quirks in My Hero, and they were the people that had powers.
Yeah, and also like not only that too is like the how strong people are. I think the strength
Yeah.
disparity between like the
Oh
top
yeah.
and bottom is so much more than in My Hero.
Yeah, definitely.
Like All Might, like One Punch Man. Like I mean, any of the top tier heroes in One Punch Man could probably like destroy All Might.
Yeah.
So.
Um, Magi has apparently a power system a lot of people love. It's called like Ruth or something. It's been too
Oh,
long
it's
since I watched
remember
on
it's
it.
the lines like
Yeah,
I mean a one try two strike like I mean
I think Magi's power system actually is super in depth and really cool.
oh wait, you said Magi? Oh,
Magi,
I thought you said Mashal. I thought you said
no,
I thought for
no,
some reason I thought Mashal.
I
Never
know what you
mind.
mean. Magi dude has a power system called like Ruth or something,
Isn't it
but
like the
like
little like
yeah, like the
yeah
butterfly type. There was even a whole
yeah
arc about like him getting like Aladdin getting stronger and stuff. I think that I can't speak on how good it is right now, but I know a lot of Magi fans would shout out their power system. And then a couple other ones I'm not really gonna get into. Fire Force with like firepower type things. It really just like Titans or Attack on Titan.
I thought
I
about
mean,
that. I just
eh.
like I was like like I don't know like
And then Fate with like servants, but I don't know if you've even watched Fate really.
I've watched 7 episodes of Fate Zero,
I mean, like
but
it's like yeah, but it's not really a
I
power system.
yeah
The only two I still really want to mention before we're done here is Breathing Styles from Demon Slayer
yep
and Alchemy from Fullmetal Alchemist.
okay
And then but I don't have much to say about either of them. I think breathing styles is okay. I think that it just isn't really gonna compare to something like even magic or cursed energy or something like that. I think that it's cool that like yes, you could be taught by different masters and learn like, then you're kind of stuck into that breathing style and then there's different forms of that breathing style. But then like think about it, there's only like 10 forms of each breathing style like that each person can use and that's like oh, okay, so Zenitsu can only use lightning style and you can only use like 10 types and then that's it. And
Isn't
Tanjiro has extra ones because he's the main character, but that's just the Hinokami Kagura from like Sun style or whatever.
there's isn't it like the visuals are only for us, like in the actual
Yeah, it's just a
show,
normal
like
sword.
it's actually just a normal sword moving around. So it's like almost it reminds me of just like kids playing with swords, like being like,
Exactly.
yeah, like all these flames,
Fire
like
style.
yeah. So
I just think that I think Demon Slayer is a really beautifully animated show and it's a good show, but I think that as a power system, breathing
it's not
techniques is on the lower end. It just doesn't compare to the others.
no. I mean, there's not like I mean, like, can you say that one breathing technique is better than the other? Have they even like talked? Like,
Well,
no, it's just
yes, there's like the Sun style, like the Hinokami Kagura one's like the best one or whatever.
well, that's just because it
But
was
that's
like
like
the
different.
original. Like, I think
Yeah,
that's like they were talking about like how old it was. Like, I don't think they were saying like it's not like Pokemon where the water style is going to beat the fire
exactly,
style. It's like
exactly.
I don't I think it's just I in all honesty, I think it's just like it doesn't have anything to do with the elements. It has the way that
Exactly.
they're actually like cutting with the
Yeah,
sword. So it doesn't.
definitely. And then alchemy. I know it's been a really long time since either of us have watched Full Metal,
Yeah,
and I don't want to mess up talking about it too much.
I watched a little bit actually with my sister just recently. We watched it, so we
Hmm.
can maybe get her on here. You know, maybe
All
next
right.
week or
Yeah,
something.
maybe. Yeah,
We
yeah,
can talk
definitely.
about a little bit
Maybe have
about
a
it.
I almost want to have a Full Metal episode. Maybe I'll rewatch some episodes of a Full Metal Alchemist episode. But
But yeah, I was able to watch a couple episodes with her, and I just remember just like, God, was it like it was good. Like it was a good,
oh yeah.
really good. Like no wonder it stood the test of time, and it's like one of the
And
top.
alchemy is so unique too. The fact that like you need a transmutation circle, but then there's like with the Philosopher's Stone you don't need one, and the fact that like they'll put the circles on their gloves, and then like and then
It's
like
deep. It's
the fact
just
that like
deep.
Ed can do like transmutation circle alchemy or something,
Because he's
and that
seen
makes
the
him unique.
truth. Because
And
he's seen the
it's just
truth.
like there's I think when it comes to how deep and thought out a power system is, alchemy is on the level of Nen. Like I think that alchemy really is an in-depth and cool power system. Like there's so much you can do with it. Yes, alchemy is limited to like what you can do. Yes, but like the way that alchemy is used by different people in the show, I feel like is just so cool.
It's smart. I think it's very like I mean, you don't have to say like it's not unique in the sense of like individualistic. Like yeah, you
Yeah.
can make it individualistic with like
Hmm.
certain things, but like can other people it's hard because it's like I'm trying to use an example. I keep using bungee gum as an example,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
can other transmutation like people make bungee gum? Yes, they
Yes.
technically they
And
can, but
mhm,
but it's very much off the personality of like
mhm,
how you do it. But it won't always be the same. But like
exactly.
with a transmutation circle, it's like in a math equation. Like
Hmm.
that equation will always equate to what you're giving out, right?
Hmm.
So that the same that same glove that you're able to spark out flames with,
Roy Mustang,
Roy
bro.
Mustang can that
Woo.
someone else can do the same thing and do with that same alchemy circle. So again, I know I'm talking big here. It's been a long time. I'm assuming
Yes.
that's if I remember correctly, that's how it worked. But if I'm
Mhm.
wrong, I apologize. But
I still would put it pretty highly up there towards like the hockey, like first energy type of area.
it's just deep. I think it's
Yeah.
just so like it's not like JJK. It's not like it's so
It's
like the
different.
depth. The
Mhm.
depth and the knowledge you need to actually use alchemy is way more.
I still think that my favorite power systems though is Nen, Chakra, and Quirks. I think those three I always go back to, and
You
I
just want
can't.
the wind quirk.
No.
Yeah. Um,
I mean, you could say alchemy deserves to be up there. You could say cursed energy deserves to be up there. But I think those three are what I see as encompass the most that I think are the best, most balanced. I guess Nen, Chakra, and Quirks.
I'm trying to think of another one. I mean, I love magic systems a lot. I'm trying to
That'd
think
be more
like
like Black Clover and Fairy Tail.
no, but there's
Wise Man's
other
grandchild.
no like no, I'm thinking like Mashoko Tensei. Like
Oh shit.
I
Okay.
really love the power system there. Like the amount of magic you
Yeah.
have and like the like it's
They actually do magic really good in Mashoko Tensei. Maybe even better than like Black Clover and Fairy Tail. Because I feel like Mashoko makes their magic unique for like I feel like different spells that we've seen Rudius do by like making drills out of things or like
yeah.
something like I feel like it's almost it almost looks like Avatar: The Last Airbender type of earth magic he shoves in like I don't know I totally forgot about Mashoko Tensei but I do agree with you that it's a really cool power system.
Like I just think it's like it is like Avatar: The Last Airbender, but it's more creative, you know,
Yeah,
and it has a
definitely.
lot more like the. I mean, again, we probably could spend an entire
Yeah,
episode
we
talking
could.
about Mashoko Tensei, but like
Nope.
I just think it's like I don't know. It's something about it. It's like the magic like of teleporting. There's like and then like also the transmutation circles. If
Mhm.
you watch the most recent like season, spoiler alert. I'm sorry if I that was a spoiler, but there are certain transmutation circles that they talk about in the show.
Mhm.
So it encompasses kind of like what alchemy has, and it encompasses like magic, and I think it does it really really well. So if I would honestly put it even above quirks in all honesty.
Wow. Wow. I can argue that too. I still don't know
Yeah,
if it beats Nen or Chakra for me, but I would
yeah,
agree with you that Quirks has a lot of downsides that I really think ma Magic power systems are the safest power system in anime, but I just
yeah,
think Shoko does it very well.
yeah.
I mean, you can even say solo leveling has a power system with hunters. I mean,
Technically, I would say yeah, that's true.
I don't know if I put it up in the top. I think even like Cursed Energy and Magic and Grimoires and Alchemy, I think it's all better than it.
Mhm.
I think that the way that hunters are ranked in solo leveling are just kind of weird. It's not balanced at all. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously,
it's not gonna be balanced.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's like heroes in One Punch Man. It's kind of I kind of make it similar to that. Like your S ranks are gonna be like your top heroes, and
yeah,
then they have S ranks, A ranks, like the same as One Punch Man, which is why like I feel like it's too all over the place to really put it in like a top power system type of category conversation. I guess I don't know.
yeah.
Or maybe we just have at least in um the anime for solo leveling, we haven't seen enough of it yet to even really score it on power system. And even in the manga, it kind of just turns into Jinwoo leveling, which then you can't say that the system is a power system. I mean, it'd be Jinwoo's power system, but it doesn't apply to anybody else. So it's like I don't like. Would you still say that's a power? Is the system the power system, or is the idea of hunters and
I
getting
think the
and
idea of hunters and whatnot
yeah?
are power as a power system. So I
And I think
think
it's an
he just
okay
takes that
power
from
system, but it has ups and downs.
yeah.
But yeah, Nen will always be on top for me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's completely fair. And also and I mean, oh wow, I didn't even realize like there's incantation, like whatever, like you're saying, like the spell,
Mhm.
like whenever for like Mashoko Tensei,
Oh
I just
yeah,
forgot. And then it's like for Full Metal Alchemist, it's the same. It's the same. You don't have to
yeah.
do it. So
Yeah, I totally forgot about that too, because like you just don't see Rudius ever have to do incantations.
yeah,
But
so it's another parallel, which is kind of cool.
yeah,
But
it's cool. Yeah, I mean that's really it about power systems. There's a really like those are the main popular power systems. I think we mentioned all the main ones from most shonens. Obviously, there's a lot of shows like Bungo Stray Dogs. I think has one,
yeah,
or like
there's
World
Bungo.
Trigger. People say has a pretty cool one. Tokyo Ghoul. People even say it has like a cool power system, but I think Tokyo Ghoul's power system's lackluster.
It's
Um,
weird. I would have to probably rewatch it or
yeah,
look
it'd
at
be
a.
too long. But yeah, of the ones that I think definitely Nen, Chakra, Quirks, Mashoko Tensei's Magic, those pop out.
There's
Even like
also
Taki, Alchemy.
Tower of God technically is
Yeah, I don't.
another one, but it's
I forget what
honestly
that's
like
called, but yeah, I think that
Shinsu,
yeah,
whatever.
I
I
think that
think it,
manhwa and webtoons and stuff like that do a very great job with their power systems. I
yeah.
just don't think that we've seen enough of them in anime that is adapted well to appreciate them.
There's also Danmachi, but you really can't speak
Yeah,
on
I can't
that.
speak on them.
I like a small note with that one. I do enjoy the power systems in that one, like, but it's lackluster. Like it's really lackluster. Just to give you like a little hint, like um there is like each person has levels, like literally like a level. Like I'm level 1 and these are my stats. I'm
Okay,
level
yeah.
2 and these are my stats. And like
It's like a
each
video game.
goddess, yes, and each goddess can look into your level, and anytime like you gain enough experience, you can level up, and your goddess has to come in, or god has to come in and level you up,
Interesting.
and then and you're good, right?
Mhm.
So and that increases all your stats, and like that's kind of a cool
Right.
system. I kind of like it. It really
Yeah.
is cool. I wish that we got more in depth on like what stats are getting increased. We
Yeah.
don't. um However, there are sometimes like, yeah, like there's a higher level will beat up a lower level, but then there's those times where it's like sometimes a lower level beats up higher levels, and like
Mhm.
they do make a good point that there's a disparity, but sometimes that disparity can like
It can be
shrink.
crossed.
There
Yeah.
should be it's not as bounded as it should be. I think it's
Yeah.
very much, it meshes together. It's like level 4 against a level 5.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like certain circumstances like
Like in
or
certain
level 6
instances, they
versus,
can beat him out, but if it's like a level 10 versus a level 5, they probably stand no chance, you know?
yeah. So
That's pretty,
I'll
that is cool. That is interesting. I think the moral of the story here is that there's an insane amount of really cool power systems in anime, and all of them are kind of unique, and it's hard to really rank them. But from
yeah.
our personal experiences, things like quirks and Nen and Mishoko Tensei's magic and alchemy, like those things just stand out, I guess, a little more.
Yeah, just something like, I feel like a couple like, I don't know, just a couple things to note for like power systems when you're actually making one is like, how unique is it?
Yeah.
Um
I think those
uh,
ones are popular for a reason too. It's
yeah,
because, yeah,
yeah, so like how unique, how strong can something be? Like will there be, and then the disparity be like the levels, like how, and then the depth, and like how deep can the level, like the leveling system go, and how
mhm,
strong it can be. Um
definitely.
and then like unique isn't, I mean like unique to the person, and then I also think like creativity, I think is a big
Yeah.
part of it. Like how creative is it compared to everything else?
Yeah.
um and then like, and then also, and then the lastly I think is like something as big as just like, or I could say probably the last two things, it's like how, like what's the backstory behind the magic, or like how behind the power system, and then also um oh my god, I just lost my train of thought. Like but also like, oh man, there was one more point I was gonna, I totally forgot
Oh,
about it though. Oh well, I just lost my train of thought. Sometimes that happens. But
yeah. I feel
um
you did.
yeah, I think that one point was just like, where it comes from, and like I'm it's coming to me. It's coming to me. It's trying to think. I just had it. Yeah, no, it's gone. It's completely just wiped. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think there's a lot of those points like you have to make sure that you're hitting
Hmm.
when you're thinking about power systems.
Definitely. And I think most of the things we named did that.
Oh, sorry. Last, I remember how
Yeah.
the power system how interacts with itself. Like
Yeah.
if you have fire, that's sorry. I just like finally
No, that's a
remembered.
good point.
But yeah, like how, like if you have fire magic and water magic, how do those two interact? Like I think
Yeah.
that's another thing, that's how it interacts between each other. So those are some things that you should consider when actually
Definitely.
like looking at some of these power systems, and even creating your own power system.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think that's all. You got everything there and you covered all the points. But
Yeah, a little lackluster. Sorry, I'm sick, so my
no.
brain's jumbled.
And
But
yeah, and as concept, we could both talk about power systems all day. There's so many more that we didn't get to mention that deserve to be mentioned.
yeah,
But
yep.
yeah, moral of the story, if you're a big Shonen fan, power system I think is a very important feature that determines if the show is good or not.
Yeah,
To an extent.
to an extent, for sure. I agree. Like you should, like if it doesn't make sense to you, if it doesn't, it won't make. It's not worth it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's really all I had to say today. Is there anything else you want to add on? I know it's getting pretty late. This is probably our longest episode yet.
That's all we have for today.
Yep.
Hope you guys enjoyed our little discussion this week. Hopefully, we'll be scheduling our next episode probably around
Hopefully earlier in the
Sunday,
week. Hopefully earlier.
Monday, something like that. But yeah, so we'll
Try our
hopefully be on
best.
our, yeah, try our best, get on a normal schedule. But hope you guys enjoyed.
Yep. Thanks for coming.
All
Bye.
right, see you guys.